It is time to buff 𝐒𝐈𝐈. Hi everybody, my name is Abby. I'm coming from the future to tell you that by this point, I've heard that 𝐒𝐈𝐈 is getting a buff, but I made the video anyway, so I thought might as well put this one out there, and then later tonight, hopefully when the patch notes drops, I will do a second upload. So we're gonna get 2 videos in one day, hopefully back to back. So let's see how that goes. Anyways, hi everybody, my name is Abby. Welcome to the video. I wanted to talk about that at the moment, 𝐒𝐈𝐈 is by far the worst support in the game, at least in my opinion and my experience. And that's what I want to talk about. So 𝐒𝐈𝐈, we have to first talk about, I like to do this thing where I give a bit of a backstory as to how we got to the position that we are with the character, what their identity is, and then I talk about, well, where would I help them, right? So first and foremost, when 𝐒𝐈𝐈 came out, 𝐒𝐈𝐈 was a very powerful support whose identity revolved around 2 things. Number 1, her ability to 2-tap targets with her, headshot combos with her, well, pseudo sniper-like gun. And then most importantly, her healing power came more from her healing turret, which is known as a healing pylon. So that is the vision that Blizzard has had for 𝐒𝐈𝐈, and I actually really liked her. I thought comparatively to a lot of other characters in the game, like while pylon can be annoying, I have always seen 𝐒𝐈𝐈 as a little bit more on the fairer side of things because she doesn't have some BS immortality abilities. She's the most, how do I say this? Like the most fairest hero that they've ever made. I know 𝐓𝐈𝐈 is like awkward, but honestly he's not that bad in the game anymore. He's still, like, I would argue that 𝐓𝐈𝐈 needs a little bit help, but I've been playing a lot of games right now in Masters Plus and people are making him work, so I'm steadily climbing to GM. So from what I'm seeing right now, 𝐓𝐈𝐈 is not that bad, but anytime I have an 𝐒𝐈𝐈 or I see an 𝐒𝐈𝐈 on the enemy team, it's confirmed that it's basically a free win. Anyways, I kind of went off track over there. Let me come back to telling you about 𝐒𝐈𝐈. So 𝐒𝐈𝐈's whole game plan was the ability to two-shot targets by landing charged up shots on their head, as well as, kind of gaining like the healing pylon allowed her to take, like, to let it be with the team, allow it to take care of the team, while she could take an off angle and hopefully get a pick or 2 for your team. Now progressively what happened is that she did get some nerfs. Pylon was a bit too tanky and it got brought in line, and some other stuff got nerfed here and there, including her projectile size. Now I do believe that her projectile size is back, if back to where it was when she came out, or just a little bit bigger. I'm not entirely sure. If somebody could correct me on that, I would greatly appreciate it. But right now, 𝐒𝐈𝐈, well, she's completely lost her identity. Number 1, the new DPS passive makes her little healing completely useless. It certainly doesn't help that pylon is literally a paper clip of, not even, how do I say this, like, pylon's HP is practically non-existent right now with how much damage is going out from tank, from DPS, from other supports, especially since Zen is meta, to the point that in a situation where, poke isn't that bad right now, that 𝐒𝐈𝐈 can't actually fit into the game, especially since Zenyatta was, like, before an argument could have been made that Zenyatta was a little bit competing with 𝐒𝐈𝐈 for that poke damage, poke support spot, and now it's completely overshadowed and overtaken by Zenyatta. So what can be done to help out 𝐒𝐈𝐈, and, like, what can we do to help 𝐒𝐈𝐈 get some power back? That's what I want to talk about today. Okay, so number 1, I definitely think that 𝐒𝐈𝐈 needs to see a raw damage buff. I know a lot of people are not going to like to hear it, but this hero's entire game plan is to somewhat pop off. Even her ultimate encourages that. Like, her whole thing is that she's a burning sun and she just wants to, like, drop on you and destroy you, while her other little son is sitting at the back, like, providing a little bit more heals and things like that, right? So just a little bit of a damage buff, nothing too crazy. I think, like, bringing back her ability to 2-shot, oh, I don't know, like, it might be a little bit scary, but technically it's not a 1-shot because you put it in the range of a character like Hanzo, like the same thing that they basically did to Hanzo, where, he has to land a second shot to follow up. 𝐒𝐈𝐈 can fall into that region as well, where she needs to land yet another shot and, to confirm the kill. So I don't think it would be that bad. I would definitely want to try it out in the current game environment and see how it feels. And maybe it's not going to be so bad. So definitely buff number 1 for 𝐒𝐈𝐈 is a raw number buff to allow her to get her headshot 2-tap back. So the condition must be that if she's landing 2 shots to the head, she should be rewarded for it. I'm okay with that, right? We also know that there's some projectile size nerfs coming, so who knows, maybe 𝐒𝐈𝐈 gets hit by that anyway, so it would be justified that, hey, if you're good and you're landing some shots, you should be rewarded for it. Moving on, her healing. So me personally, I've always wanted 𝐒𝐈𝐈's gun to have, like, more healing resource than, like, relying on her pylon. But in terms of Alec Dawson and the Balance team's philosophy, they want pylon to be the thing that maintains the power of 𝐒𝐈𝐈's healing. So considering current circumstances, I would either increase the, well, slightly increase the raw healing of the pylon, or give pylon a little bit more HP in order for it to be tankier and, you know, be able to just not get sneezed upon and then get destroyed, right? Like, that's something that I feel like is not being accounted for right now. Is her pylon is very easy to destroy, right? Very easy to destroy, very easy to get rid of, and it just like 𝐒𝐿iari's presence is never felt in a match. Like, you can pick Zenyatta, you can pick Ana, you can pick Bap. Like, on a support character, you can make your presence be felt that, well, you know, I did something. Right now, 𝐒𝐿iari, like, it never feels like she's doing anything. Even in the background footage that you can see of ranked, of some quick play footage, I'm just kind of existing. Like, even if I might get a cheeky pick here or there, it doesn't actually like feel, how do I say this, like, rewarding. It doesn't feel like I'm actually doing anything. It's like I'm just coming along for the ride, and if somebody else does something, like, I'll just like ride off of them and maybe get a pick here or there, right? So 𝐒𝐿iari definitely needs the help. They need to decide like where the power should go more, in her ability to pop off, or in her ability to have, like, you know, powerful healing. Now, in the current game state environment, they did say that they want fights to end faster. They said this in a recent interview that ML7 did with Alec Dawson. They were like, no, we want to keep the DPS passive strong in order for fights to end faster. Okay, well, if that's the case, again, going by Alec Dawson's logic, we should buff 𝐒𝐿iari's raw damage numbers so that she can actually put up a fight against other poke characters, and, you know, not just be a walking free kill. She's just really bad right now, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure if you've played against her or played with her, it practically feels like her healing is non-existent. Her ultimate, like, there's a decent amount of counters in the game, and people understand how to play against it, and most importantly, anticipated that, oh, 𝐒𝐿iari is going to have ult by now, let's all just play a little bit spread, and now the 𝐒𝐿iari is completely lost, and it's really saddening, right? So I don't want to buff her ult. I think her ult is fine. It can still work in its scenarios. I mean, I know how to make her ult work, and I use it in different styles and different ways, but I will say that 𝐒𝐿iari needs some raw damage up. Now, another reason why I want her to get a raw damage number increase, and then we can kind of see where she goes from there, but I do think she needs a little bit more raw healing increase. Maybe just allow her resources to trickle down slower so that her healing uptime can go up. This way it allows her to feel a little bit more consistent, right? I feel like when it came to 𝐒𝐿iari, she wasn't accounted for all the different changes to the game. So yeah, and then it would allow her to actually compete with Zen for that poke DPS spot, right? If now that we know that Zenyatta is going to be getting nerfed, 𝐒𝐿iari can, you know, sometimes if you still want to commit to a poke comp, you can swap from Zen if you're being dived way too much and go over to 𝐒𝐿iari, and she'll be able to not only, you know, increase the sustainability for that composition, but, you know, you'll have a little bit more leverage in being able to deal with flankers, because, you know, 𝐒𝐿iari comes with mobility and Zenyatta doesn't. We also know Zenyatta is getting a nerf on the kick. Oof. I can't wait to read those patch notes. Anyways, everybody, that's going to be it for this video. If you want to support the channel for free, all you have to do is hit subscribe and like, and let me know in the comment section down below which hero do you think is weak and which hero do you think is strong, which hero has surprised you. I really want to know, because everybody's opinions, other than a few heroes, are very much all over the place. So do you think 𝐒𝐿iari is bad? Do you think 𝐒𝐿iari needs help? Let me know in the comment section down below. I will see you in, well, later video, because I'm going to be covering the patch notes. So see you then.